offensive category is the power sweep, as we call it. Actual number of that play is 49, and the reciprocal of that is 28. 49, 28. It's the power sweep. Actually, it's the lead play in our offense.
Hello, welcome back to Packers Playbook, where we're going to break down 3 plays from the Packers' win over the Bears. I'm Dusty Evely. With me, as always, 97.3 The Game's own John Kuhn. John, we're looking at a Week 1 win, man. How you feeling? What are we digging into this week?
We're going to dive into a couple of the exceptional plays that the Packers broke out in the second half here. Matt LaFleur making some adjustments at halftime, realizing he's going to have to scheme some things here and try and get this Packers offense going. That only had 100 yards in the first half.
That's right. All right, so we're going to look at, like I say, 3 plays, 2 of them kind of related, and then the third one just kind of fun. So the first one we're going to look at, and we'll play it, and then we'll run through it a little bit here, is going to be this running back throwback screen to Aaron Jones. I've got the personnel listed as 6'11". They brought a 6 offensive lineman out, which I don't think they did all last year with Mercedes Lewis not on the field. I think that makes a lot of sense for them to do this year. There we have it right there. A little throwback to Aaron Jones out of this half boot, full boot action. John, what are you seeing on this one?
Well, first, you mentioned the personnel, the extra lineman there, Rasheed Walker, number 63. A lot of people were wondering how the Packers are going to get that blocking presence out of their tight end positions. Well, an extra tackle, that would do just that. So 2nd and 2, get the Bears in big personnel, big people personnel, get them in their run fits, which generally means zone behind it, which is a very good defensive scheme to be in when you run screen. So go ahead and let the play run and take notice to just the token fake that Jordan Love and Aaron Jones do in the backfield. Nothing spectacular, kind of lazy arms there out of Aaron Jones, kind of a lazy pace out of Aaron Jones. And Jordan Love letting everybody see the ball. That's not something you generally do on a bootleg. You want to hide it. You want to give the appearance that it was a run. And that really tells the defense it's not run, it's pass. Let's eject ourselves from the line of scrimmage and get into our drops of our zones. Go ahead and go to the tight copy.
Yeah, you even have this dude here is doing that kind of robot, that rollover and back technique where he's got his entire back turned. Like you said, I mean, and that's something I was actually going to ask you here, John, is that's a purposeful kind of lazy play action out of here because they want to sell the pass on this more than the run. So you think that interaction there is a little lazy on purpose here?
Yeah, 100%. The personnel gets the Bears in a run personnel, but also kind of a backup zone call there defensively. So they want them to get into their drops. They want them to get away from the line of scrimmage, and they definitely don't want them in a man defense.
Yeah, so we'll run it there, and then you can see that guy there. Yeah, he's already rolled over, and you've already got these 3 guys. I mean, right here, you look at the Bears. I was looking at this last night. Hat on a hat there, right? 3-3 as far as those guys are concerned. And you've got 2-on-1 there. That blocking is set up beautifully on that too.
Look at these 3 guys on the bottom of your screen. Just rolling out, getting ready. No, this down here, the Bears. Look at the Bears.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Look at the Bears. Just ejecting themselves to get to their zone because Jordan Love's rolling out to them. There should be Packers coming in their direction, coming into their zones, but it's not until Jordan Love throws the ball till they actually realize what's going on this play.
Yeah, because you get that boot and you expect usually like that. So they're rolling over under that deep crosser. They're looking all the way for that, and there's just nothing there. And then beyond that, you got the runoffs here, right? You got those vertical routes there. Got those guys tied up. Everything about this just set up absolutely beautifully. And then he just runs. Do you want to look at this from the end zone angle, John? You got anything else to add on this one?
Yeah, check out the end zone angle because there's a couple things here. First, we'll start with the line. You got to have patience on this and check out the play side of the line. You got Zach Tom, you got Runyon, you got Myers at the center position. Watch when they decide to leave the line and head out for their screen.
They're down. Yeah.
Now Tremaine Edmonds turns his back. Now it's time for us to leave. perfectly timed up, perfectly set up. And then watch the fit of the Bears' second level here after the ball gets passed. Bad fit by Tremaine Edmonds, bad fit by Sanborn, I believe that is outside, and bad by the corner out there, leaving a wide open gap. You want to try and force that thing back inside to your teammates, to the Bears defense, chasing them down. That's not what happened in this case. So a couple of bad fits, and it leaves you with a gap that's 10 yards wide.
Yeah, and this, I think my question on this one, John, is, I mean, this is week one. Obviously, Eberflus was there last year, but they brought in a lot of new pieces. The Bears defense did. So this is not something I bet is based on tendencies. Is this something that was in the game plan regardless, do you think, or is this something based on, because they ran that play action bootleg stuff earlier in the game? Is this something they saw based on an earlier one, or do you think this is a play they likely call either way?
It could be all in the same. You get tendencies going into games, what teams will play on what down and distances. 2nd and 2, that's a rundown. So a lot of teams will play their base D on those downs, especially if you have a big personnel like this. And within the base D, you'll get a scouting report that says they're 75% zone or 69% zone or something to that nature. And then you can validate that earlier in the game based off of down and distance and what kind of defenses they're in. And you know that at halftime, and as we said, this was one of the adjustments that Matt LaFleur came after half.
Yeah. Yeah, beautifully done. Great play call. You want to move to the next one?
Yes.
All right. My favorite of the day, this leak call that they run out of 12 personnel, which really, as far as the line goes, is about the same. You just have Musgrave bumped in where Rasheed Walker was, and you got Kraft on the outside there. Same kind of boot action. You get a fumble there. I mean, it's basically a one-man route. You set everything else up. You throw to him, the fumble throws it off a little bit, but all in all, 37-yard gain. John, what do you see on this one?
Okay, so when you're between the 40s on the field at 1st and 10, it's a great time to throw a shot play, always. A lot of coaches love this. In this particular shot play, defense is called the oh shit. You'll literally hear them calling from the sidelines, watch the oh shit. And this was a staple in Sean McVay's offense for many years, using Tyler Higbee. They'd run the outside zone, boot, boot, boot. And then they'd roll this one where the tight end gets a little nosy down in there, puts his hands on a lineman or a linebacker as he works his way out there. And ironically on this play, as you watch the fumble occur, it really creates a lot of chaos and probably even helped the Packers here, because the Chicago Bears lose focus on everything that's going on in the secondary. If you watch the second level, watch how the linebackers engage the moment the ball hits the ground. You'll even see Eddie Jackson point to the ball on the ground, the ball, and that's it. You know, when linebackers hear ball, they're like a dog in the backyard.
Yeah.
Their ears go straight back. They're chasing after that thing, and they're running. They just see blood, and they lose all kinds of focus on what they should actually be paying attention to.
Yeah, I mean, he's booting out already. Those linebackers, I think, are right there, and usually you want to see one of them kind of fall underneath there. And that was going to be my question to you. I mean, the fumble muddies the waters a little bit. You usually see them get pulled up on that wide zone a little bit there. There's a zero hesitation. Is that, do you think, due to the fumble, or do you think maybe they're bringing a little bit of heat on this regardless?
I think it's due to the fumble. I mean, they're in very similar defense to what they were in the last picture that we saw.
Yeah.
And that even bigger personnel group, that was 2nd and 2. This one's 1st and 10. But you can kind of see Jaquan Brisker getting a little nosy here. They're thinking this is running. When they see the ball go on the ground, they just completely forget about any responsibilities they have. They chase this thing down. And you can see the bind it puts on the secondary. This top corner right here, he's got the third, but he's not exactly sure. Do I fall in? Will the safety have a guy? Am I ejecting for the tight end now? So this play just worked to perfection, exactly the way the Packers put it into their playbook.
Yeah, and you've got he's taking the crosser. You've got him coming over there, which you see a lot of that play action boot stuff, and that's one of those. I wish there was a slightly wider shot to see just the expressions on the fans' faces as you see that man is screaming wide open down there. I'm curious your thoughts on the catch here. I mean, it's an underthrow, which I know you typically like to see when a guy is that wide open anyway, have him make a play. You obviously have man in his face. You get the fumble and all that. Just get him the ball. Musgrave, I feel like, plays that pretty well. Does he start backpedaling too soon for you, out of curiosity?
Absolutely. Here's the deal. If you circle the white shirt just above Musgrave there on the sideline.
Right there?
Right. No, one
Oh,
more.
right
There.
there. Yeah.
That's me. I watched this entire play develop from the sideline.
Okay.
And the moment Jordan Love picked the ball off the ground, I was pointing at Musgrave, just get the ball to him. Now, I like to believe that had Jordan Love not fumbled this ball, he would have thrown that more on a line, more on a
Yeah.
lace. But the play kind of got muddied. He had a little bit of pressure in his face, and he was just putting as much air under that thing, trying to ensure that he got it to Musgrave. And the timing's off a little bit. So
Yeah.
it's off a little bit for Musgrave to try and adjust for this football. Started backpedaling. The ball soared on him somewhat. I mean, I credit them for converting this play more than anything, especially with the way that it started with the fumble.
Oh, absolutely. And if we look at the end zone angle, we'll see some of the pressure you're talking about. One guy I want to point out here who didn't make a lot of waves is Tucker Kraft, who does a really nice job. You got that YY wing formation there. Musgrave is obviously going to leak out. Kraft drives that dude inside. And without him driving that dude inside as much as he does, I don't think Love has a space to do that. You can see him drive. And so when he boots out, he's got that inside there. You've got
Yeah.
the 49 there scraping over the top. But that was a really good job by Kraft. Like you say, he still has to float that sucker off his back foot just to make sure it gets there.
Yeah, great block there. Great point of that one. Great point of emphasis. Also, the rest of the offensive line really just trying to go with the wash, just trying to entice as many people as they can to come down the line of scrimmage. But great play, a play that everybody loves. And once again, it's a play that we're going to see a lot more now that we have a tight end with some real speed.
Yeah, I think we've seen that because that's when I've been tracking the LaFleur era. I think 2 or 3 times prior to this. I know there's one to Tunyon, I think, in the first year. There was one to Lazard last year, and then maybe one other one thrown in there. But yeah, not nearly as much as I would like to see. So I'm hoping this is the dawn of a new era in terms of this Y League play here. Anything else on that one, John? We want to move to our last one here.
That was good. Let's move on.
All right. Last one. We've got the touchdown to Aaron Jones and his beautiful little angle route here. 4th and 3, 11 personnel. He's just going to just beat that linebacker, run right off the back of Luke Musgrave, turn on the jets that I like that Aaron Jones still has in him. The jets to kind of take that beautiful lane there. John, 4th and 3, you've got kind of these trips over here, spread look. What do you see on this play?
This one, the Bears are playing the sticks. They got man defense out there. They know this is a pivotal play within the game. They need to get a big stop, so they're trying to apply as much pressure as they possibly can. And the Packers have a good play drawn up here for this defense, and specifically with it being man. If you look at the start of the play, they have a pick at the top of the screen between number 1 and number 2. That's where Jordan Love will go to if Tremaine Edmonds is trying to combo down here on the bottom with TJ Edwards. If he's going this way to give any type of presence in the middle, Jordan Love's going to go right to the top to hit that wide receiver coming off that little pick, that little rub, whatever you want to call that, at the top of the screen. And he's going to try and hit him right at the sticks, convert the first down. Once Tremaine Edmonds decides he's going to go play the 3-man side of the formation, the passing strength, that's when Jordan Love knows, I got one guy to win on this route, and it's Aaron Jones. And once you watch it from the back, Aaron Jones has a simple route, just a little angle, a 5-step outside foot plant. And TJ Edwards is trying to take away his options. He's trying to predict or at least make it predictable what Aaron Jones is going to do. But Aaron Jones has too much speed, and he comes out of his break way too fast for TJ Edwards to keep up with. And Jordan Love, all he has to do is put the ball out in front of him. So good protection by the offensive line. Tremendous scheme by the Packers, and Aaron Jones just being a better athlete than TJ Edwards there in space.
A question for you on this one, actually. So he's got, I'll go back to the wide one here. You've got, like I said, you've got man, you've got the linebacker here. He jumps hard to Jones' outside shoulder. I know you will often see these choice routes out of the backfield from a running back where, depending on leverage, you can go inside, outside, or up, usually a 2 or 3-way go there. Is this a straight, you would think this is a straight angle where he's running that regardless, or if that's jumped inside, does Jones have the option to jump outside?
Potentially it could be a choice. But if you watch Aaron Jones' steps from the backfield, it's what makes me think it's a true angle.
Because he's kind of, he's cutting hard out there, yeah.
Generally, if you're going to run a choice, you want to press the stem on the linebacker. You want to run it right. You kind of want to take a wide step, get wide outside that box, and run right at the linebacker before you make your choice. With that being said, TJ Edwards plays it so hard with outside leverage that Aaron Jones probably could have just cheated his route if it was an H choice. But It's a 5-step, pretty decisive, direct line route with a break off the outside foot. I'm pretty sure that this one was just called in the huddle, angle there out of the H, and Aaron Jones was probably licking his chops when he saw that TJ playing with outside leverage.
Yeah, and I thought usually on his choice too, you get that little stutter at the top of the thing, but since it was so hard on that outside shoulder, I was like, well, he may have just gotten rid of that stutter and gone right there. So, all right, anything else you got on this one, John?
No, good stuff. Just 3 real pivotal plays from that game this weekend, all 3 in the second half, and all 3 stuff that Matt LaFleur and his offensive coaches saw in the first half and decided to exploit in the second half.
Absolutely. Yeah, I thought very good game plan. Like you said, good adjustments in the second half, and we saw some of that here. John, thank you so much for doing this. Appreciate your time, and everyone else. We'll catch you guys next week.